Okay, Arise Director of News and Politics, Editor Sunmer Sambo joins us now to dissect the biggest political stories of the day. Hello, Sunmer. Very warm welcome.
Thank you so much.
We'll call you the political juggernaut, right? Okay, good.
I call him the political man.
All right. Okay.
Is there any plan? I didn't get the memo on the red. Well, let's get down to business.
All right. Okay, maybe we should start from Ibadan, the heartland of the Yoruba nation, where Peter Obi and his Labour Party supporters and train moved to, and we saw the 96-year-old Pa Ayo Adebanjo, you know, still very consistent, persistent, and insisting that Pa must move to Southeast for fairness, equity and justice. What are your thoughts here?
Thank you so much. Christian, the reception given to Peter Obi was warm. There was no incident of security breach apart from the one person who was arrested allegedly with a knife in his pocket, and it was very close to the podium. Apart from that little security glitch, there was really nothing much. Instead, it was more of a success. And coming to Ibadan is very, very important for Peter Obi, considering that Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, is like the political capital of the old Western region when we used to practice the regional system in the country. And of course, with Pa Adebanjo coming out to still insist on his position that Peter Obi and the Southeast deserve a slot in the presidency this time around, I think it's a very, very commendable action. While we didn't see a lot of political juggernauts in the old Western region who play politics within the region so much there, we understand that many of them are in APC or PDP, but this is a political party that's building its own chieftains, and you could see people coming out there who are enthusiastic, irrespective of you know what I keep saying, legacy politicians who want to decide for the people. These are people who want to hear Obi based on his own terms, not on what they are being told, not how they are being teleguided by opinion leaders. And so the message we heard from Obi too is actually very inspiring. I mean, he kept on saying that, look, like his the vice presidential candidate, Deti, actually operates a university, and relating it with you as being one of the very top premier university in Nigeria, that they are going to ensure that the educational system is reformed. And then, of course, giving hope to Nigerians that in the midst of the challenges we have as a society, that he's going to give a good account of the resources of the nation if he's elected president. But the good thing about it is that I'm happy with the reception being given to him, and how he had to also use the opportunity to sell his candidacy, not as an Igbo ticket, so that people within that political capital of the Southwest, the old Western region, we understand that he's a pan-Nigerian candidate and is coming with a new political vehicle. And so that acceptance is something that actually warms a lot of us who have been monitoring the activities of Peter Obi in his stopovers, especially in Kaduna, which is the old political capital of northern Nigeria. And then we're now seeing this in Ibadan. The next one that's left is Enugu or Port Harcourt.
No, but we saw him in the old political capital of the Midwest, the old Bender.
Yes, and then of course, if you even go to what's it called, Jos Plateau State, and of course Benue too. I mean, he's been warmly received.
So all that talk about Peter Obi not having the structure, maybe just before the elections, you might just see the structures, you know, spring up here and there. But let's stay on Pa Adebanjo and the message that he brought to the people right there in Ibadan, that this is not, you know, about his Yoruba or Igbo and all of that. Just vote for him because he's the best man for the job, and for fairness, equity and justice, a Southeasterner should be getting it. Not because he's a Southeasterner.
And he said Igbo no come. It's the turn of the Igbos.
Yes, I mean, a very fantastic message. Pa Adebanjo is way ahead of the average Nigerian politician, because he's already thinking about how the Nigeria of tomorrow is supposed to be today. The thinking within this particular individual is that Nigeria should have advanced to a particular level of, you know, fairness within the polity. And if you look at it, let's be very frank and sincere with ourselves. If you follow the political trajectory of the country and in the fourth democratic dispensation that we are in, if power is going to the south, the power that is supposed to go to the south is actually supposed to reside in the southeast of the country. Because we've seen since the return to democracy, the southwest having power for 8 years, having the vice presidency for another 8 years now, and then we've seen the south having powers for 5.5 years, let's just say approximately 6 years. And so isn't it just within reasonable bounds to say that if power is going to the south, it should go to the southeast? Because when we started this federation in 1960, we had, this country was standing on 3 legs.
On a tripod.
On a tripod of the western region, the eastern region, and then the northern region, until the Midwest, which you talked about, later joined. And so if since 1999 we've been practicing this politics this way, and the power is going to the south, from its own understanding, fairness here demands that if power is coming to the south, it should go to the southeast. But within the internal politics of the APC and the investments of people like Tinubu, he thinks that there's no reason why power should not be retained in the southwest, because the southwest has invested so much in the governing party. And of course, he seems to have some level of justification there. And then if you look at, like I told you, Ngozi, previously, these 3 candidates, that the top candidates in this election, are coming with this seeking of justice from different perspectives. Tinubu is a Yoruba Muslim, and we've never had a Yoruba Muslim being president in the country. So he would want to challenge an Ayo Adebanjo and say, look, we've had the likes of Obasanjo being a Christian. Even Awolowo, who was the leader of the Western region, he was still a Christian. You look at Yemi Osinbajo, he's still a Christian. And then you look at Ernest Shonekon, he was a Christian. So isn't it right for me to also aspire? Why are you not supporting me? And that's why I see some Afenifere leaders are shifting.
Is that in itself even a strong argument? If you were to, narrow it down to the issue of religion, should it even play?
Well, it shouldn't be played. And that's why Peter Obi's message of a new Nigeria where all those things don't count, but where competence, where character, where the issues, ability to be able to deliver come to play. We should not be looking at those primordial sentiments. And as I try to round this off, don't forget the issue of Atiku Abubakar is also there too. He comes from the northeast of the country seeking for justice from the region, saying that after Tafawa Balewa, they've never had anyone as the first as a democratic president. And so since the 1960s, when Tafawa Balewa was killed, he feels that the northeast should be given a slot. And that's why in the politics of PDP, you see Atiku Abubakar insisting that the northeast deserves a slot. And that's why in the PDP, the northeast and southeast are the ones being given opportunities. But in all of this,
the best argument
that
can guarantee that Nigeria can actually move forward as one nation.
Because the best argument that it is not the turn of anyone. It is the turn of the best candidate that can deliver the best governance, that is competent, has the character, has the ability to be able to unite people. The Nigeria of 2023 is not going to be the Nigeria of it's my turn, of it's our turn as per religion, but it's going to be the turn of the average Nigerian on the street. Is it better off 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago than he is today? Can he get a leader he can trust? Can the system also work to deliver that leader? Are the Nigerian youths prepared
to take the bulls by the horns?
Because they are the ones who are hit most. If we have 133 million poor people, who are the majority of the poor? The young people. Can they make a difference? Yes.
And that's why INEC is
left for them to be able to exercise their voting strength without allowing opinion leaders to decide for them. And that's why when I started, I said, if you look at the people who turned out at this rally, it was more people who want to go against the status quo.
They
don't want opinion leaders telling them what to do. They want to hear from the candidates directly, and we hope that happens when Tinubu is coming, when Atiku is coming, so that they listen by themselves, not that they are being interpreted to what the candidates are saying.
All right, let's move on now. And the electoral umpire is insisting that come what may, sunshine or rain, they are going to transmit results electronically at the go as it happens. what kind of message is INEC sending, particularly to those who disrupt elections, thugs, and election riggers? Any room for them in this 2023 general elections? How are they going to do it?
There's no room for them. That's why we're asking, and we keep insisting and telling the politicians that the game has changed. INEC itself cannot rig its own system the way it stands right now. INEC national chairman himself cannot do anything because the system has gone beyond even INEC national chairman calling the final shot. So with the way the system is, right from the collation of results at the polling units being transferred to the local government and then to the state collation centers and eventually to the INEC national headquarters, it's pretty going to be difficult to want to tamper with the results. And once you tamper with the results, it's going to affect the system. And of course, the decision will be taken by the electoral authorities. And so this same assurance by INEC re-echoes what President Muhammadu Buhari is saying. And we have to listen to Buhari carefully, including the APC members listening to the leader of their party.
He says wants to leave a legacy.
Yes. And if you listen to Femi Adesina, he insisted that Buhari, though being friends with Tinubu, will not tamper with the system. They will allow the system to run. And it's to his own credit, because when Buhari was contesting to be president, the issues of multi-party democracy and lack of allowing parties to be able to, have a fight for votes based on credible elections was at the heart of what kept on, pushing him aside. And that's why he vowed that if he wins, he's going to ensure that the results are not tampered with. So the governing party, the main opposition, Labour Party, NNPP should all work for the votes. Nobody will get the votes through the back door.
Sunmer Sambo,
I love his submission.
Politics editor.
It runs in the blood, would you say?
Let's seize the opportunity to wish you a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday
so much.
And we've been eating a lot of cake.
We're going to have more cake.
Don't be surprised if I put on weight tomorrow.
Thank you.